I'm Anna, also known as Anna Isabel Cosplays, and I'm a cosplayer and aspiring YouTuber. So I've always been a huge fan of movies, TV, all the good nerd stuff, and I wanted to find a creative way to express it. So I thought, you know, I love to dress up. I've always loved Halloween costumes. Halloween is one of my favorite holidays. I like to do makeup, and I thought, hey, cosplay kind of encompasses and mixes all of those things together. And yeah, that's how I came across the hobby and why I'm still in it to this day. So I actually started cosplaying in 2010 when one of my friends and I decided to check out Supernova, but we were kind of like we were pretty much noobs at the time. It wasn't really professional cosplaying. We weren't doing photo shoots or anything like that. I actually started kind of seriously trying out the whole professional-ish side of cosplaying and doing photo shoots and all that around 2012 or 2013, I believe. And one of my first shoots was actually with Side Effects Photography and Mube. My first ever cosplay was actually Gaza from Invader Zim. That was an old cartoon from 90s Nickelodeon, I believe. And what got me into that character was that I was always this sort of gothic-like person in high school, or at least I liked gothic fashion. And Gaz sort of represented that. Like she was a goth kid, she was always moody, that was kind of like me, so I thought, hey, that kind of matches my personality and my favorite aesthetic at the time, so I went with that. Also, she was really easy to do, so it was good for a beginner like me. So my favorite cosplay is Raven from Teen Titans, and that's because of sentimental reasons. I made a friend on DeviantArt. Her name is Mikomi Kasai, that's the cosplay alias she goes by. And then we just had like a chat on DeviantArt and everything, and then it turned out that she was this really active cosplayer in the Philippines. She makes costumes, and she wanted to meet up with me the next time I visited the Philippines at one of the cons, and she offered to actually make the Raven costume for me. And she was gonna cosplay as Starfire, so it was gonna be like a duo. So that was a really exciting project. When I did visit the Philippines, I met up with her. She gave me the Raven costume, it was perfect. And that was my first, I guess, taste of the Philippine cosplay community. It was really exciting. People appreciated our takes on the characters, so that was really fun. Yeah, she's been my favorite, I guess, because of memory, she's been one of my favorite characters to do ever since. And it's mainly because of that particular experience. Yeah, so I definitely have a few cosplay hacks in mind. Because Australian conventions usually take place during the winter, which is always a pain, when you're wearing, like, say, short shorts or short skirts or whatever, double up on clear pantyhose for girls. I mean, guys can do the same as well if you have to wear short shorts, because I mean, it's gonna blend in with your skin, plus you get that extra warmth. Also, heat pads. Heat pads are great. If you're wearing body paint and you have a bit of leg to show or even arms, use stockings for those as well. There are a few tutorials on YouTube, you can't go wrong with them, and they save you a lot of time. Trust me, I've had to deal with that when I did Starfire, and I should have just worn stockings instead, but yeah, definitely stockings. So I've definitely had some accidents in cosplay. Getting a bit of flashback right now when I did Starfire for Oz Comic Con. So since her skin tone is very bright orange, I had to do the whole body paint for that in the morning, which was a mess. It was a nightmare, especially since that was my first time actually putting body paint on myself. Anyway, I was rushing in the morning because I had to meet a photographer, and I thought, might as well Uber to the convention, which was bad because I lived hours away from where it was actually being held, but I wasn't really thinking at the time. So I got an Uber, hopped in. What I failed to do before hopping in the Uber was sealing my paint properly. Because by the time the Uber driver, and he was so nice to me the entire time, which added to my guilt by the end of this, but by the time he dropped me off at the convention, he even looked for like the perfect place to park and everything. The last thing I saw when I left the car was orange all over the seats. And that was literally the last glimpse that I had of the inside of the car before I shut the door. And I can only imagine what his reaction was upon seeing that. I felt really bad. On top of that, I had to pay a good $142. I even remember the exact number for the entire Uber ride. So yeah, it was a great day. Favorite photographers? Mume was one of the first people that I shot with. He knows his angles very well. He's incredibly good at editing. You should definitely check out his YouTube videos where he breaks down how he edits his photos. They look really cool. And he's just a joy to work with. I love working with the guy. MLPS photography is really good at doing portrait shots. He definitely has a very professional look to all of his photos, and it's great working with him because he's always willing to try something new, and whenever I have an idea, he is very much willing to try it. And yeah, he's very patient with me because I can get very meticulous with how I want my photos to turn out. So thanks, Michael. Sherwin A. Medina Photography is another one of my favorites. He is really good at making photos look very much like something out of a comic book. So some of my favorite, pretty much my favorite photo shoot with him was when I did Injustice Harley Quinn. And he was able to turn the photos into something that you would find on a poster or pretty much in any like DC comic. It was great. He's very good at editing. JC Photography is another really talented photographer I love working with. He has a very dreamy vibe to his photos, make his aesthetic really like distinct among the others, and he's always willing to try new things. One of my favorite shoots with him was when I did just a casual fashion shoot in Binondo, that's Chinatown in Manila, and we were just able to capture the very grungy cityscape vibe of the whole place. So yeah, he's definitely one to watch out for too. Square-Eyed Creative is another Sydney-based photographer I love to work with. I love how he is very meticulous, like me, with photos. We both, I guess, complement each other in our perfectionist tendencies. So photos that come out from him always end up looking amazing. And he is very good with the editing. He always makes sure that everything looks perfect to his vision. So yeah. I love working with the guy. Sandy is another one of my very good friends and a favorite photographer to work with. He is very good at capturing what you want out of a photo, so he's always willing to play around with your ideas. It's one of my favorite things about working with him. My favorite shoot with him was when I did, and this was actually my first shoot with the guy, was when I did Raven, and that was shot in Sydney's Chinatown. Future goals for cosplay. I definitely have a few ambitious cosplays in mind. One of my dream cosplays I'm actually hoping to get done this year is Cortana from Halo. That would be another, I guess, step in my little cosplay journey when it comes to body paint, because as people know Cortana for, she's all blue. So that would be another chance to kind of up my skills in that. Another thing that I really want to, I guess, kind of run with is the whole YouTube thing. I do have a YouTube right now. It's just under my name, Anna Isabel. And there I'm kind of just letting my personality show through more pop culture and TV and movie related type stuff. So not so much exclusive to cosplay, but it is another avenue where I can just let my creativity and my love for pop culture run free. So that's another thing that I'm kind of working on right now as well. Advice for people who are just starting out in cosplay or who want to get into the hobby is don't be afraid to try new things. That's what makes this hobby fun, when you feel like you're upgrading your skills in certain ways. Like I was definitely not somebody who knew how to use different types of makeup back then. Like I didn't know how to put on eyeshadow or do my eyes in a certain way, but cosplay definitely like helped with that. Another thing is that don't get so caught up with social media likes and fame. That will come once you actually start putting your talent and your creativity out there. But if you're in it to chase like validation, it kind of can get a bit toxic. Like, you know, it won't be as fun when you're just trying to compete with others. Do the hobby because you love it, and have fun meeting all these new people and making friends and collaborating with amazing talent in the hobby. That's pretty much what I love about cosplay the most. I feel like I was stumbling a bit there. Thank you, Mume, for having me on your channel and for interviewing me about my cosplay stuff. If you guys do want to check out my work, you can catch me at Anna Isabel Cosplays on Instagram. That's where I'm most active. Also, Anna Isabel Cosplays on Facebook. And if you guys are into pop culture, TV, movie-related type stuff, you can check out my commentary videos on YouTube under Anna Isabel. So yeah, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.